In this video, we're going to show you how to program our LCDs. So the first thing we need to do is include a library. Now, libraries are not automatically installed on the Arduino, and not always on this program either, this IDE. The one we're going to use is on the IDE, but is not always there for the Arduino. If it was to keep every single library in the Arduino, it would run out of space pretty quickly. So to say we want to include this in the Arduino, it's hashtag include, and then our library. So our library is liquidcrystal.h. Put a little note here, library, or libraries. You may have more than one. Next, we're going to follow our documentation. So our documentation is saying that like Arduino 12 pin, digital pin goes to RS, 11 goes to E, and so on. You can see that in the top right corner. Only the ones that don't go to ground and power need to be programmed in. So meaning VSS, V0, RW, and K don't need to be in our program. So if we look down that list, all the ones that aren't going to ground or voltage, we're going to put a variable in there for. So we're going to say int, and then we're going to start with RS. So RS is 12, E is 11, single equals, and then D4 is 5, D5 is 4, and that's what confuses me sometimes. So make sure you read it carefully. D6 equals 3, and D7 equals 2. Now you could wire this differently and it would still work. So this could be 10. The reason the documentation says this is just as an example, and that it is nice that like this goes 5, 4, 3, 2, and that all of these then are in a row, and it just makes the wiring look a little cleaner. All right, now that we have these, we need to actually initialize our LCD. I'm also going to put a comment here. These are our variables for LCD. And then we're going to initialize our constructor for LCD. Okay, to do that, we're going to go with liquid crystal. So that's the object we're looking for here, LCD. And fortunately for us, the information we have actually matches for the order that goes into this. Now, if you were to use like D1, D2, D3, using different documentation, then it would change slightly. But for us, it's nice and easy. Just follow our variable order we already had. So RS, E, D4, D5, D6, D7. Now we can actually start the LCD. So in the setup, we're going to do LCD.begin. Now we need to tell program how many columns there are and how many rows. So in ours, there are 16 columns and 2 rows. Different LCDs would have different amounts. Now we could write something right in here. The first thing we need to do is tell it where to start writing. And so for that, we're going to go LCD.set cursor. So first it's what column do you want to be in, then what row. So if I want to start in the very top corner, top left corner, we're going to put 0, 0. So it's column, then row. Now we can put what we want to write. So LCD.print. We can do the really corny, hello world. Now, as soon as I turn on my program, this would show up hello world. Now, if I put something else in the loop, it might only show up for a second. So again, if I go LCD, set cursor, and I was to also start at 0, 0, it would actually rewrite right over hello world. Now, if I only put like hi, it would actually only overwrite the first 2 letters. So, oh, sorry, we're still in print here. So print hi, there we go. Now to replace the first 2. So let's make a print on the next line. So we can do set cursor. And now we're going to be in the first column, but the second row. Now, in computer science, we always start counting at 0. So that's why the second row is 1. And now we can write whatever we want. It's expecting a string. So we can say, hello, YouTube. And there we go. So now on the first line, it would show hello world. And on the second line, hello YouTube. Now, if you want to overwrite something, there is something called LCD clear. And what it does exactly what you think it does. It erases everything on the screen. Though there are some problems. It actually starts to cause flickering. So I would suggest letting it only clear like 5 times a second. So you'd have to use some kind of timer. Or if I just want to overwrite hello world, what might be a better thing to do, or an easier thing to do, is to do an LCD print. And if I just want to write hi, well, I know that my LCD is 16 characters long. So if I just make this string 16 characters, it's going to overwrite everything anyway. So I can put my 16 characters, and regardless of what was there before, it will overwrite and give the impression that it is actually cleared it. That's the basics of how to use this. There's a full library that you can check out.